here with senior Emmie Noyd to preview the 2019 Concordia volleyball season. And as we speak here today, fall preseason camp is about here. It'll get started in a few short days. But I know you and your teammates now have gotten plenty of chance now to get used to the Bolts and their style. What is something that they have done for yourself in this program that you really have appreciated so far?
I think one of the biggest takeaways that all of us will have, especially for the team that was the first year last year, and then just going to build off from there, is the family aspect that they bring in. I know a lot of us just keep talking about that, but this last spring season we were really focused on building our family, and so we got together, like the Bolts made different families that we had to go with, and it was just different girls than what I would hang out with and everyone else. But yeah, we just did different activities every single month. But I just think really just the family aspect, not only off the court relationships, but it really seeps into how we can play and the connections that we have on the court. So I think that'd be the biggest takeaway from them. So
I know the Bolts have talked about a motto being "This is us." Could you explain what that means to you?
Yeah. To me, it means just being my best self, striving for that every single day. If it's on the court during practices, open gyms, during games coming up this season, or in the lifting with the team, just really whenever I can better myself for the team as a player, as a person, as a leader. I just feel like this is us for us.
I will take a quick look back at last season. Down the stretch, at one point it looked like it was going to be pretty tough for the team to qualify for the GPAC tournament, and then you kind of turned it on. Big win over Morningside and Doane, and very close to winning at Midland. How do you explain what happened during that period where you really kind of came on?
Yeah, so once we got to GPAC play, that's kind of when we fell in a slump. But then the coaches really redirected us and the seniors really stepped up, and it was a grind to say the least. We came in every single practice wanting to get better, but it was more of that we were doing good and we were clicking to actually executing on the court consistently is what we had to really work on. And so that was finally clicking with Morningside and Doane and that. So yeah, just finding a way to win, honestly.
Yeah, everyone knows that the difficulty kind of ramps up when you get to GPAC play. But what was that 12-0 start like? I'm sure that was a lot of fun, though, to have that success in the start.
Yeah. So I remember talking with you with the last interview before last season. I remember just saying that it's going to be an exciting season and just to see how it really plays out. And going out in that season, I think everyone was like, there was just this hype for all the work that we put in the spring before and then in preseason, just really seeing what was going to happen. Then we got out with 12-0, and we played some really good teams and we executed, and things just clicked with us. And so it's probably one of my favorite memories at Concordia, being on the volleyball team, is that 12-0 winning streak. So
you touched on a little bit about continuing to develop as this culture, as a family, but what were maybe some other things that stood out during the spring in terms of development on the court and off the court, because a lot of people don't see what happens in the spring for you guys? Yeah.
So we put in a lot of work during spring season. It's like we're going through a whole year season, honestly. The spring season, we do 6 a.m. lifts, we do sprint training with burner twice a week as well, and then after spring break, we also put in like 3 practices or a practice every single day. So it's just a lot of work that we put in. So.
And I know anyone who has followed Nebraska volleyball knows Michaela Fecky, who visited during the spring. What was maybe some of the benefit of being able to meet her and have her kind of involved with the team?
At first, like, I remember Angie just like kept it like hush, like she wasn't going to tell us who was coming in. We just knew someone from volleyball was going to come in, and so we knew she had connections with Becky, but I guessed that she was coming in, but I didn't know if she was. And when she walked in, we were all like, oh my god, like we're freaking out. But it was awesome just to have her talk about the dynamics that are with the Husker volleyball team and just the legacy that John Cook continues to keep going through and their success that they have every year. I think my biggest takeaway from Becky was she talked about that her senior year and being the captain really showed her that you have to value your teammates, just not as a player, but also off the court too. And I've really like reflected over that and made that one of my goals for my senior season, is to really focus on the relationships with each girl, because after I'm done playing, it's going to be those relationships that stay. So it was really cool just her talking about the different relationships that she made with the dedication that she had onto the team. So
your spring season also does include some matches against other teams, other than just playing yourselves every day. But and Kansas State was one of those, obviously a Big 12 school. What do you think you learned through an experience like that?
Just that tournament in general was a good experience for all of us. We lost Jenna Habeger and Kelsey Bark, and they were key players on our varsity team. And so just having that time to really see who could fill in those spots, and then going against K-State really was just a confidence booster for us, because we didn't win the match, but we still played very well and hung with them throughout the whole match. So that was just showing us that the work that we were putting off in the spring will pay off when the season comes.
Like you said, your senior year, how do you describe what being a part of this team and this program has meant to you?
So it's been kind of like just a building up type of process, because we had a different coach for my first 2 years, and we didn't have a lot of success on the court, but it really built the player that I am now. But then also just having the Bolts, it's like the best case scenario that I could have ever imagined. They have not only built my love for the game, and that will carry on even when I'm done playing on a competitive court, but also just the relationships. Like, I found my best friends here on the volleyball team and that, and so I don't know, just the connections. Coach always opens up camps with us like introducing ourselves and then saying our favorite part of volleyball and mine, and it can really play into what I've learned from Concordia volleyball, is just the relationships that you gain as a team. So.
And finally, what would make your senior season a success in your mind? And maybe it's not just what happens on the court, but
I haven't really thought about that, but I think on the court we have this goal as a team for a GPAC championship. And that is just something that when we're in a rut during practice or coach wants us to work harder, he always brings it up. And so I feel like that's like the overarching goal that I want for my senior season and for my team. But I think my goal for this senior season, what I'm hoping, is just to give everything that I have for my teammates, more focused on them besides like myself, because I know that my time is almost up, so whatever I can give to them I think is my biggest goal.
All right, and some quick ones real fast. What's your favorite place in Lincoln to eat?
Favorite place in Lincoln? You're putting me on the spot.
Well, you don't have a go-to?
No. I think Chick-fil-A, okay. But I always crave Chick-fil-A when it's Sunday and it's closed, so it never works out.
Favorite genre of music?
Country.
What's your favorite small town in Nebraska?
Shelby, Nebraska,
right.
My hometown. That's easy.
You could pick one teammate to help you through a zombie apocalypse. Who would it be?
Either Kara Stark or Tara Callie.
You had the most fun doing what this summer?
Bike rides with Kara Stark.
What's your favorite location on Concordia's campus?
The library.
Of course, of course. Can you name every school that Ben Bolt has coached at?
No.
No.
Hendricks,
Hendricks,
yeah.
yeah.
He helped with the Huskers. Iowa State, I think.
The other one, the other
Iowa?
big Iowa school.
Iowa University.
Yeah.
And then after that, just probably that I don't know.
Alabama,
Oh.
Arkansas, Iowa Western.
Mm.
Yes, I think it's 7.